Be careful with the oysters. Cynthia.
Let me check them for you first.
What are you checking for?
What is you doing?
What are you checking for?
Okay, Portia, I'm like, clean checking it. Your face ain't right.
That vagina is clean. This one might be a little thin. That vagina is clean.
This is what started it all. This chatter around this table right here is what caused Kay to melt down. It triggered her. And yes, that meltdown lasted for about 80% of this episode. Hey guys, welcome to my channel where I do weekly recaps of the Real Housewives franchise. That's right, I recap every city, every episode, every week. Today I'm here to recap the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 17, Episode 7. Before I do so, if you happen to like my content, hit the like and subscribe buttons and hit that alert bell so you can get a notification whenever I drop a new video. Alright guys, let's get into it. So we pick up right where we left off at, because last episode was left at to be continued with Kelly and Shamir going at each other on the bus. Kay just accused Portia of sleeping with everybody in Atlanta and scissoring everybody in Atlanta. Portia said Kay tried to scissor her. Portia said Kelly tried to scissor her. And Kelly was like, ain't nobody trying to scissor you. Nobody want that hot chili cheese Frito pussy. So everybody's gagging like, wait, what? So in her confessional, Portia proceeds to tell us that when they were in Miami on the way back from Grenada, she was taking a quick little whole bath, and Kelly looked over and saw that platinum pussy, and she heard her say to Shamir, oh, I want some of that. So Shamir, her confessional said, she don't remember that. She's like, where was she at? She don't think she was there for that. She ain't catch that part. So now Portia says when they was in the elevator, Kelly was all like, thought she was coming to her room with her. So when she got to her floor, she definitely closed the door. Like she definitely like pushed the close button before she got out. Like, good night. So, Portia, I don't know if this story is true, but it's funny. So I'm going to entertain it. So, Kelly is denying it. So, Kelly is basically still saying, you keep saying I'm fucking this man. You ain't saying nothing about who it is, whatever, this and that. Because number Faith just told Portia not to say nothing. So, Portia is like, yeah, you even tried to call him and shush him after that. So Kelly is like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody know what Portia is talking about. Kelly don't know what she's talking about. So I don't know. Like I told you, I know where. Well, this is not a brand new channel, but on my previous channel, I was singing for the first few episodes. When Portia first came with this story, I was looking like sideways. I don't believe nothing coming from Portia, especially when she told her explanation. When she explained, when she just said, now if she would have just left it at, when she accused Kelly of sleeping with a married man, right? And I believe that was episode 2. If she would have just said that about, like, you was sleeping with a married man, and Kelly was like, no, I didn't, and she was like, you definitely did, and left it at that, I probably would have been like, oh, what? Kelly out here sleeping with married men? Trying to look more into it. But when Portia went on to explain how she got this tea in her confessional, and she was explaining the whole Kelly sleeping in the bed with the man, and for some reason she was talking about she was on the phone with Portia, then they talked about Zenith, and the man texted his boy and was like, I just fucked Kelly, and the boy happened to be with Portia at that time when he got the text. It was like, I just finished fucking Kelly. As I'm telling y'all the story, anyone who hasn't seen the episode or don't know, as I'm telling you all of this, you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? Because none of it makes any sense. So, yes. So now, after a while, they finally calm down or whatever. So they go back to normal now. And they talking about regular shit now. So Kay is looking around like, so y'all good now? Like, and they like, yeah. And she like, oh, because, you know, y'all just go on like nothing just happened. Y'all was just like, she was like, these bitches be fighting one minute, the next minute it just be like, oh, okay. We still going to the club, girl? So now they arrive at the venue called Bar Eden. And they get in there, they sit, they order. Kelly orders an espresso martini with tequila. Cynthia orders a margarita. Angela gets a lemon drop. And then Cynthia orders some oysters. Portia, I believe, ordered a lobster risotto. Shamia ordered some fresh baked bread for the table. While this is going on, Pinky is in the bathroom because, mind you, Pinky done had some of that commissario tequila. And yeah, so she's in the bathroom. So they all, you know, getting their food. So they're talking. And that's when we find out that Mike, Portia's friend, Portia's paid, sorry, not paid, but, you know, the actor that she hired to be on as her boyfriend this season. Allegedly, he's coming. Mike, Kay's husband, Dr. Caston, is coming. And also Derek, Pinky's husband. They're all going to fly out to come to the gala, the commissarial gala that Cynthia is throwing for her launch. So now, she says that, lets them know that there's going to be like a tequila award for like the best dressed. So while they're talking, Cynthia goes to check on Pinky. So now, while she's checking, she goes check on Pinky. Pinky is letting her know, she ain't have nothing to eat. She was on the toilet pretty much. So Cynthia comes back out and let them know they're going to wait until she feel better before they leave. So she ain't have nothing to eat. That tequila got to her. So now, the food comes to the table, and Drew is singing, you better watch out for them oysters, Cynthia. Be careful with the oysters. So Portia like, let me check them for you. So she's digging through the oysters with like a fork or something, or a little utensil. She's not digging through them, but like picking through them as if she's checking them. And they were looking like, what is she doing? Like, you know. So she's like looking through it, and you know, so she says, oh, this one is clean. This pussy is clean. So then she goes and look at another one, and she's like, oh, this one don't smell too good. Got a little smell to it. So as y'all saw in the intro, you saw Kay was looking like, and if anyone who's not too familiar with this rumor, there was a rumor that the rapper Mano from Brooklyn in the house, I'm from Brooklyn too, hey. Mano, he had said that K Michelle, what she called Hot Pocket, was stink. He said that it had a funny smell. So that was allegedly what he said, and it was a big thing. It was a rumor that haunted her. So yeah, so I could see how that could have triggered her. So they're doing that. So now Pinky finally comes out. So Shamia for some reason asked Kay like, hey, how you feeling? I don't know what happened that made her ask Kay that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, was this set up for Shamia to ask her that to lead into what she was about to come with? Because now Kay is like, you know, looking like, you know, she's like, you know, y'all be doing stuff to each other. Y'all say this and that, but y'all be doing crazy shit to each other and all that. And I don't know if I feel like this is a safe space. So they all like, oh, wow, you know. And they like, why, you know, they want to, why does she feel that way? Did somebody do something to make her feel like it's not a safe space? So she's not really saying much, but she's basically start to get emotional or whatever. So Portia is saying how that conversation she had with Kelly in front of Kay, she didn't, you know, she looked back in hindsight, pretty much, she wished she didn't go about it that way. She didn't want to come at her like that. And then she said that the conversation they had on the bus, when they was going back and forth on the bus, she didn't want to bring Kelly's business up, talking about her business going bankrupt. That's not what she want to be doing. She want to be uplifting and not trying to tear somebody down. And, you know, she's trying to be more positive. And she's like, you know, me and Kelly maybe need to talk and find a space or whatever. So Kelly is like, I think we good where we at. So Portia was like, you know, I respect that. It is what it is. We could be cordial and keep it how it is, pretty much. So now, Drew asked Kay, you know, because Kay was, she was like, hey, you said you was feeling, you know, a certain way or whatever. So, you know, what's making you feel that way? What it is? So Kay is like, oh, well, can I say something to you? And Drew was like, yeah, sure. So Kay is like, when you say I know black and stuff, I don't know black like that, and I don't appreciate that. So Drew was like, I only said it one time at the dinner party. I already said it because when I introduced you to him on the phone, it appeared like y'all knew each other. So Kay is like, no, I don't know him like that. He just been in my DMs or whatever, complimenting me. So Drew was like, oh wow, I didn't know this or whatever. So they all like, oh, Black is in the DMs or whatever. So, and Phaedra's so silly. In her confessional, she's like, Black can't be stirring up all this trouble in this group. I mean, he ain't so pretty. He looks like he might choke you out. He said he put the big teeth for you.
Black cannot be stirring up this much commotion in this group. But boy, he's so pretty. Look like he might choke you out. Ugh. Put them big teeth on you.
Yeah, so Drew was basically giving, oh, well, I ain't mean nothing by it or whatever. But Kay don't like that. So, and Drew was saying, that's my friend, so it don't matter. That's not my man. So Shamia whispering, like, well, if I was spending 3 hours on the phone with somebody, I would care if they in somebody else's DMs. So Kay is telling her, but stop, telling Shamia, stop, like, what are you doing? So now they're going to get ready to go. So they get ready to go. They're getting up to go. And Kay stops Shamia and holds her back to be like, what are you doing? Why you do that? Like, she's like, I'm trying to sit there and have a kumbaya with her, and you starting new drama up. Like, why are you doing that? You not going to let it go what you got with her. Like, but basically telling her, like, don't do that. I don't like that. I'm trying to talk to her, and you stirring the pot. And Shamia is like, I'm not doing that. So Shamia is now talking about I don't like when she be talking about me and how something with Drew commenting on her and Portia. So yeah, Shamia is basically just being petty, and Kay is just telling her, girl, you need to stop. Kay going to tell her, oh, you never been in the hood, you never lived in the hood. Shamia like, no. Kay was like, somebody need to drop you up in the hood, because you don't know how to act, you different. So now it's the next day, which is day 3 of this Dallas trip. And we see the girls getting up. Pinky feels much better now. She was dehydrated, actually. So Cynthia's letting her ladies know she actually had a sore throat, but she know this little remedy where you pour some honey down your throat, and you pour some honey, you swallow it, but let it sit in your throat, let it go down your throat slowly and swallow it or something like that. But the way she was saying it, it sounded sexual. Pinky and her confessional was like, I'm scared to see her internet browser, honey. She might got some shit in her search history. So now, Phaedra lets the ladies know that Kay is relaxing for a bit. She'll be down a little later. So Cynthia lets the ladies know that the person with the gowns is gonna bring some gowns for the ladies later, and then the jeweler is gonna come to, ice them out, okay? Not to be mistaken for a bust down. So now Kay finally joins the ladies, and they're all like, hey, how you feeling? You all right? And she's like, I'm all right, I'm good, or whatever. So she's eating. So Angela is like, I want to ask you a question. Yesterday you felt like, you said you was feeling away. You actually said that, you don't feel like this is a safe space. Do you really feel that way? So Kay, she paused for a bit, and then she's like, no. And then she starts kind of like crying, breaking down. So they all jump up to go console her, like, Phaedra was standing her with the paper. And I didn't notice that till later when Pinky brought it up. But anyway, so they all around her consoling her, like, what's wrong, Kay? What's the matter? What is it, girl? Like, who did it? Like, so she's like, y'all be saying stuff and doing stuff to each other or whatever. But, I can't be around somebody knowing that they scheming and plotting on me. And, I don't fuck with people like that. So they all confused. And it's like, this is what started. All right, I told you that oyster thing started all of this, but this is where she started to put this plan into motion. I'm not going to say plan like it was a plan she planned out, but yeah, it's just, this was a confusing episode because it was just like, I understand that you feel like it's not a safe space, but then they're asking you who's scheming and plotting on you. Like, Angela is like, what's the scheme? What's the plot? Like, who? They all asking her who. Portia is like, is this something you could tell me so I could, take care of it for you? What's up? And she's like, I don't want to say that right now. So she don't even want to say who it is. And I'm just like, huh?
If I know that a mother is sitting there plotting my hurt, I'm not gonna smile in your face. I know exactly the whole plot.
What's the plot?
Nobody gotta be plotting against me, smiling in my face.
Is there anything we can do? Who is it?
Who's plotting?
You know who you are.
So everyone is confused. No one really know what's going on, but like, and she's not saying who told her, but she's just saying you know who you are, and that's why you at where you at, cause you ain't no good and all this. So, everybody's just like, yeah, like, girl, what is going on? Like, so now she's scheming, she's like claiming that this is all a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the bullshit.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
Angela in her confessional is like, everybody's confused. Everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. What the hell happened that got you covered at breakfast crying? Like, girl, eat. Like, get some food.
Everyone is trying to figure out what's going on. What the is happening to where you have to come to breakfast crying? Like, girl, eat. Get some food.
So Angela is like, Shamia, I'm looking at your face, and I was looking at your face this whole time, and I know your face is like, you know something pretty much. So Angela felt like Shamia got something to do with this. Shamia may even be the one in Kay's ear, making her believe that there's someone out there scheming and plotting on her. Shamia is saying no. Kay told her this earlier last night, actually, her and Kelly. In her confessional, Kelly says she don't remember this. But Shamia said that Kay told her and Kelly, and she asked them not to say nothing, and she was being a real friend. So, yeah, but they all just basically like, yeah, well, Shamia, whatever. Nobody really know what's going on. So Portia is saying now how Shamia was, Angela is saying how, Shamia was saying something to Kay, because after everybody left, y'all stood behind and y'all was talking amongst yourselves. Because remember, Kay pulled Shamia and left her behind, kept her behind when everybody was leaving last night to ask her why she was getting involved and trying to cause drama between her and Drew. So that's when Kay was like, no, but that was about Drew. And Drew was like, wait, because, Kay was trying to basically explain to Angela she wasn't telling me nobody was scheming and plotting on me. We was actually that when we stayed back, that was actually about Drew. So Drew was like, wait a minute, what about me? Why is my name coming up? So Shamia is like, I was telling her, no, Portia was like, Portia says, well, all I know is I heard Shamia whispering, if I knew him if I was on the phone with somebody for 3 months, I would feel away about it. And Shamia's like, yeah, that's how I felt. Like, you was on the phone with him for 3 hours, and you acting like you don't care that he in Kay's DM. And Drew was like, who are you to speak for how I feel? Like, why are you worried about how I feel about my situation? Like, what are you talking about? So now Shamia is, I forgot what Shamia, Drew was like, I don't understand why my name came up anyway. Like, and Shamia said, because Kay was asking me if I could get past what we going through and if I'm affecting you, how you feel about her. Because Drew feel like she's trying to get to know Kay. Drew was like, I'm trying to get to know Kay, and you making this about you. Why are you making this about you, girl? Like, you got a lot of issues going on with you. You got problems that and you causing problems. You messing up this whole trip. You the one causing drama pretty much. And Shamia is like, no, I'm not pretty much. So, yeah, at this point, Shamia and Drew are going back and forth. So Kay and her crew end up going outside, which consists of Kay, Pinky, Shamia, and Kelly. They go to their houses or whatever to go, Kay actually staying in the main house, but the rest of them are going outside. While the rest of the girls that's staying in the main house, they're chilling. They all get up in Cynthia's king size bed. That's a big ass bed because all 5 of them fit for sure. So Kay is mad. She's over it. She feel like they playing in her face and she's not trying to go there, but they're gonna end up taking her there. She not stupid. She knows what's going on. Meanwhile, the girls in the room is they're like confused still. They feel like Shamia must have gotten her ear. That's what it's giving. Like all roads lead to Shamia because they feel like Kay seems to start to having a problem with everybody who Shamia has a problem with. So yeah. So Kay is telling Pinky how she did tell Shamia and Kelly how she was feeling. She allegedly somebody reached out. She got a phone call. Somebody told her that somebody was scheming on her. They was going to try to play her, try to humiliate her. So she goes on to her confessional to talk about the rumor that happened a while back when the rapper Mano made the accusation about her vagina not smelling good. So she's like, when the girls was doing that with the oyster, they knew what they was doing. The person told her that that's what they was doing. And, you know, that they was going to try to play her. So she already caught that or whatever. So, mind you, when they played the flashback, I'm not going to lie. When I first saw it, I was like, all right, Kay, it just seems to me like you're triggered, okay? That's what it is. Nobody's talking about you, sis. But when I looked at the playback, right? When Portia said it, Drew looked at her. Drew gave her a look like, I don't know if you got a girlfriend or a good Judy or a homeboy that you key with like that, and y'all like got a way of, y'all got your inside jokes, and when you're doing something and throwing shade, you automatically catch what your friend is doing. It was given that Drew looked at Portia when Portia said the thing about, oh, this wine gotta smell like it don't smell too good. Drew looked like girl, you didn't go there. Like, ooh, sis. Like, they had a private conversation. Like, Drew, she looked like she knew what Portia was doing. That's my opinion. From my observation, because I be catching all shade, and it definitely was given.
Oh my God, Brittany, were you thinking it? No, you said it.
I'm just saying, as somebody who throws shade, a shady girl myself, like, I don't know, I just felt like that's what it was given when Drew looked at her like she already knew what it was about. I could be wrong though, but you know, Kay could be completely right because it's not like we haven't done this on Atlanta before. We know the girls are good for meeting up before the season to scheme and plot their storylines and who they gonna come for. All right? So yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just as confused as you all, okay? So now, yeah, so Kay is filling Pinky in and letting her know how she caught wind that some of the girls was gonna try to come for her and have a scheming and plotting, I guess, to try to humiliate her or trigger her. So Pinky's like, who? She's like, Drew, Phaedra, and Portia. So Pinky is like, oh my gosh, not Portia, who was acting like she was so concerned or consoling you. And Phaedra, not Phaedra who was fanning you, because remember I said Pinky pointed it out earlier. Pinky was like, not Phaedra acting like she was so concerned. Phaedra was fanning you, Portia was all hugging you, and they in on it, like. So K. Michelle goes on in her confessional to talk more about the Mano situation and how it affected her when he said that about her. And the girl, these bitches is questioning if her pussy smells like such and such, or if it smells like a Glade candle, like why is they worried about it? And she pretty much admits that that affected her, and she's still not healed from that. She has not healed from that. She's still hurt by that. So she admits that she hasn't healed. So this is why she is the way she is. So she's triggered. She's admitting she's not healed. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna just, a bit of advice. I think you should have just not done reality TV, because if you're not healed, things like this are gonna always trigger you. I'm just saying, sis. Meanwhile, back at the main house, the other ladies are there and they're talking, and Phaedra is like, why don't you pull up her tweets? You know the girls get the Twitter fingers, so they pull up her tweets, and Drew catches the tweet where she pretty much was posting us up about bitches trying to come for her, scheming and plotting. Pretty much one of K. Michelle's toxic tweets. So they like, word, for real, when she posted that, it was 3 hours ago. So Phaedra like, when I saw her, she didn't have nothing to say. She didn't even say nothing. So yeah, they like, yeah, somebody's definitely in her ear, honey. So Kay in her confessional, she just proceeds to go in on the girls, honey. She's reading, but it's so funny. And she provided one of the funniest moments of the episode in her confessional.
Tolerance for is that people with no talent or no real business. You've been promoting synthetic hair over there on Buford Highway that never sold. And then you over there is fighting for a home with a whole man in a basement. And you want to worry about what a man got to say about me if my vagina smell like a sardine or like a Glade Campbell.
Why did she say not synthetic hair? And it wasn't selling or Buford Highway, like, no. And she's like, Drew had a whole man, like, why are you going in on the girls like that? And why are you coming for Portia's Go Naked here? I heard it was good, and I'm about to order some. I never got none. I was just about to order some. Should I cancel my order, Kay? So then she gives us back-to-back funny confessionals, because now she cracks me up with her rant about her new vagina. This, I think she said, it's her 7th or 8th vagina.
Do you understand how many vaginas I've had since 8 years? I've gotten it tight, snipped, tucked. This is a married vagina. You don't even know this new vagina.
You don't know nothing about this new vagina, okay? For real. Congratulations, Kay, for giving us the funniest moment of the episode. All right? So now here comes Shamia wanting a moment. She's like, you know what I don't appreciate? I don't appreciate them. Talk about my faces. Oh, I'm black. Black girls make faces, this and that. And they making it seem like I'm the one that's stirring the pot. I don't appreciate that, being the one that's putting the blame on me. So, yeah, I'm just like, whatever, Shamia, girl. So, meanwhile, while she's saying that, though, and after that, Angela was telling the girls, yes, I definitely think Shamia is in her ear. So, Shamia, you ain't wrong. So, now, that's when they, like, bring up the thing about the dead people. Because Drew was like, somebody was like, now, who was it that said you eat dead people? So Cynthia told them what Pinky said about Phaedra eating dead people. And Phaedra was like, dead people? I eat dead people? So her confessional, she was like, I receive them, get them ready, and send them off looking better than they came. But eating them, oh no, honey. So yeah, she just like, wow, that's what they coming with? So yeah, we can see that there is a clear divide in this house. The girls are totally split into 2 different groups, like the groups that are together right now. And yeah, I don't understand why this happens a lot, but that's the way it's happening. Kay and Pinky chose who they want to click up with, when it could have been just everybody having a good time together. That's how I feel. So yeah, so anyway, the ladies all separate now to go get ready for glam. So we see Shamia and Kelly, they're talking, and Shamia still feel away. She don't like that she's being the one. She feel like she's being the, what's the word I'm looking for? I hate when I can't think of the word in a moment. But the sacrificial lamb, I guess you want to say, like, pretty much, like, they're making it seem like she's the one in K-Ear. She don't like that. So she's ready to address it right now. Mind you, she has on a bikini. So she wants to have a meeting outside. She calls her and Kelly go call everybody outside. The girls is over it. Like, girl, we running late. The jeweler is here. We picking out our gowns and stuff. Like, girl, what's going on? So she wants to have this meeting in her bikini. Now, Shamia, the body, it's everything. That ass, baby. Woo! Okay, we see why you and Portia was besties. So yeah, but the girls is like, girl, how are we supposed to take you serious when you got your ass all out? Like, you wanted that moment to show you off your new body. That's what Phaedra said. She want to show off that new BBL, okay? Was it Phaedra who said it or Angela? Somebody said that. So yeah, so now she wants everybody to sit down and talk because she don't like this about they saying she was making faces. She don't got nothing to do with that. Kay told her, and as a good friend, she decided not to say nothing. She felt it was Kay's place to talk about and not hers, and she's sick of it. Everybody, she's just going in singing they're the ones that's messy, and they're going to stop putting her name in their mouth pretty much. And everybody's just listening like, girl, like, are you done? Like, pretty much, that's what it was given. So now, Kay says that, I don't remember if she said this in her confessional or to the ladies, but she was telling the girls how, yeah, she told Shamia and Kelly what happened. Because apparently someone told her what was going on. When they said what they said at the table, somebody told her what they was doing. So what that said to me was that the person who told you that was sitting at the table. Because how would anybody else know that they was doing this with the oysters except for the people that was there? Y'all in Dallas. So this is why I believe it was Shamia. If it was a Shamia, it was Kelly. But yeah, you just said it. You said that the person knew what that comment was about and they put me on. So that let me know that the person heard what was said. They was sitting there. The person was sitting at the table. I don't know if y'all caught that, but I definitely caught that. So now Kay goes back to the black of it all. She's bringing black back up now. So basically, Drew was just like, girl, what, like, so she was like, baby, I said it one time. So Kay's like, I'm not your baby. So Drew was like, girl, so what is you bothered by? And just where everything just popped off at.
You said before, I'm not your baby. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. I'm not. Because I don't need no you run around here telling folks that I'm wearing no man. I never told nobody that. Run around here. I never told nobody that. So let's be clear. I've never told
So Drew was like, fuck that, like, you got me fucked up. Don't ever come at me like that. And Kay is getting up like, oh, you want to get up? So they both trying to get up. We got Portia and Shamia holding Kay and Pinky standing in front of her telling her, girl, calm down. We got Angela and Phaedra holding Drew back because they both turned up now. Chicago done came out of Drew. Memphis done came out of Kay. Now we on Love and Hip Hop, okay? So this is what I was afraid of, Kay. This is not Love and Hip Hop, sis. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You're gonna have to learn how to get witty with your tongue, all right? Your tongue is now your weapon. Your tongue and your mind and your wittiness, okay? We don't throw hands. I mean, we can throw hands every now and then, but girl, like right now, Kay, this is too much for me. You're doing a lot. And I'm just like, girl, I don't know if Kay can handle this Housewives. Because she's used to when bitches get smart, throwing hands or throwing something or whatever. But in Housewives, you got to know how to, Kay know how to read, but you got to be able to take it just as you give it. You know what I'm saying? You can't be ready to fight a bitch because she's coming at you. So yeah, they're turned up. But what was funny to me is because Drew was like, I don't even know this girl or whatever. And Kay is like, you don't know me, but you putting me in your mouth with men or whatever. So Drew was like, and I don't know you. Yo, I don't know why, but this was the best shade of the episode to me because the way Drew said it, she's like, and I don't know you. And I don't know you, sis. Congratulations, Drew, for giving us the best drink shade this episode. The funny part about it is, what made it even funnier is because when Kay was responding and saying what she was saying back to it, all you heard was Drew saying it again. I don't know you. So Kay Michelle is going in at this point. She's like, this ain't TLC, bitch. Whatever. So on her confessional, it was like, this ain't the TLC, baby. She said, my soundtrack is motherfucking Yo Gotti, Tupac over here. So, yeah, so they're going back and forth. Drew was like, oh, I'll continue to do my movies and you work on your country music. You do your country music. Kay is like, I've been doing that and all that. So then Kay got the nerve to throw Ralph in it. Why would you bring Ralph up? She's like, you got a whole man living in your basement. And Drew was like, and what? Like, that's my story, bitch. Like, that's my life or whatever. And Kay like, we tired of hearing it. So in her confessional, she did throw the best read. She was like, girl, we tired of hearing about you having a whole man in your basement. And we tired, just like we tired of you missing your, tired of you trying to reach these career milestones and not getting there.
I don't need a moment with you. You need a moment with yourself. With that grown man down there in that basement. We tired of talking about it, just like you tired of fighting for your career milestones to happen that never happened.
Congratulations, Kay, for giving us the best read of the episode. Now, yes, that was a read, sis, but, Kay, let me talk to you for a minute, sis. Come here. Come talk to me for a minute, sis. Let me rap with you, sis. Okay. You say that you are tired of this whole Drew Ralph storyline of him having a basement. You're tired of hearing it. She's been talking about it for 3 years. Okay. You have been talking about the same storyline for over a decade now. You've been talking about this Love and Hip Hop situation for over a decade. A situation with someone you was with over a decade ago. You still talking about this, you getting the butt job and the situation. Literally, I'm gonna keep it real, okay? You came onto Love and Hip Hop. The only new thing you bought so far that I haven't already known is Dr. Caston. And you married him literally 2 weeks before the show started. So, yeah. Not for nothing, Kay. Let's not throw rocks at it. You know, you live in a glass house right now. To be saying, Drew, you tired of hearing her talk about that. Girl, like, you've been talking about the same storylines for decades now. It's about what you've been through on Love and Hip Hop and your BBL and your country music. Every reality show you went on, those were your 3 storylines. Every single time. We tired of hearing about it, girl, okay? We tired of it being the center of everything you do. So, yeah. Also, the career milestones line. Yeah, that was a cute read. That was a jab. But yes, Kay, you are a bigger artist than Drew. You've gotten further. You're actually an established artist. She's one trying to still become established. But at the end of the day, Kay, I'm no shade, but you are no Mary J. Blige, sis, okay? You're not. You have not reached that level of milestone in your career as of yet. You, like, not for nothing, I don't even put you up there on the same level as Keisha Cole. I feel like Keisha Cole, Monica, like people like that, I feel like they have reached a higher milestone in success than you have. To be honest with you, I'm going to keep it real with you, Kay. I feel like some of these new girls done bypassed you. When you think of people like SZA, Summer Walker, her, like, yeah, these girls, even Kaylani doing like, Kay, let's not do that. I mean, I'm going to keep it real. It's crazy because it's like, damn, Kay, just when I was starting to like you, and now you're reminding me of why I didn't like you. And it's like, yeah, girl, you coming on here with this elitist, I'm better than attitude. And let's keep it real. The only reason why you want to be friends with Shamia and Kelly and them is because they're followers, they're minions, they're yes women. They're going to do what you say. Whereas Portia and Phaedra and Angela and them, they're not. They're not. Cynthia and them, they're not going to follow you around and be your yes man. So that's why. You have some minions now. And I just feel like Kay is trying to come on the show and trying to be that bitch. And girl, like, cut it out. I'm sorry if you're a K Michelle fan. I'm sorry if that was hard for you to hear. But I just never had. I never cared much for K Michelle. I always thought she was a very problematic person. But when it comes to the Love and Hip Hop situation, I did take her side on that. Like especially when I saw her ex on Marriage Boot Camp with Toya Lil Wayne ex. Yeah, Lil Wayne baby mom. I knew that. I saw his behavior and how he treated women, and I was like, yeah, I believe Kay. And I always didn't like when they was. I felt like they were mean girls to her, but I felt like, girl, let it go. Why did you come back to Atlanta then? Like, for real, why did you come back to Atlanta? Because you had all this trauma in Atlanta, all this trauma from New York with Mano. Like, girl, go back to Memphis. Stay like, girl, like, no, for real. Sorry, I don't mean any shady, but I'm just like, when she threw that, it was a cute read, but it really was giving, like, do you think that you are this, like, big icon, girl? Let's not do that. I just don't like that. Don't try to, like, minimize Drew's success or basically, like, try to, like, you know, make her seem like she's... Even if her project didn't go as far as yours did, she did something that was successful. She does movies. Yeah, she might not have blockbuster hits, but who are you to take away from her credentials and from her accomplishments? So that's just where I'm at on that, okay? And now that I think back about that Portia interview she did with Carlos King, I kind of agree with Portia. Like, I see what she mean. I think Kay did choose the wrong team. And I feel like this whole thing she got going on with Drew is not going to play out the way she think it is. I don't think it's going to play out the way she thinks it is. All right? Because I'm already looking at her side, but it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you giving right now, sis? So anyway, yeah, where was I at now? Let me get back to the episode. Sorry, y'all, I went off track. I had to have a little conversation with Kay real quick, all right? So, now, Drew was just like, you know what? I'm not even doing this. I ain't got time for this. Like, you do you. I'ma do me. Like, I ain't got time for this. So she goes in. Kay is like, yes, you're dismissed, MC Hammer. Like, I don't know why she called her that, whatever. I think it was the pain. I don't know what made her call her MC Hammer. But she was just like, yeah, dismissed her. So Drew goes now and she FaceTimes Black. She's telling Black what happened. Like, she's trying to say that I'm out here trying to put you and her together and, like, put y'all, like, you know, put your name and her name in the same sentence, pretty much, like, grouping y'all together. And Black is like, how you doing? Why would you do that when you won't even let me get close to you? Like, how you gonna try to group me with somebody else when I'm trying to group up with you? So she's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. So he's telling her, he tells you, he's like, yeah, I was in her DMs. Because she was like, she said you was in her DMs. And he was like, yeah, I was. I'm going to tell you what I said to her verbatim. He said it was a picture. And I was like, oh, goddamn shit. Oh, shit, Kay, goddamn. The picture, it was a really nice picture. And I commented, yeah. So at least he kept it real. So, okay, calm down, sis. I'm sure you get a lot of compliments. So you going to go around telling any girl you see with these men, yeah, your men be complimenting me on Instagram? Girl, Dr. Caston, why don't you get Instagram? So girls, but I don't think you're going to get as many compliments. So yeah, but he might be giving compliments. That's what I'm going to say. Dr. Caston, why don't you get an Instagram and start complimenting females so they can use that like she's using it, okay? So now everybody want to go get ready, but Portia, before they do that, wants to address what was said at the table when, you know, Shamia was making faces and Shamia knew something and they felt like Shamia was in her ear. And, you know, the whole thing about Shamia being in her ear. So Shamia is just like pretty much, because basically they was saying it was regarding Portia because now Kay don't like who Shamia don't like. So Shamia is basically in her confessional saying now all of a sudden everybody want to run behind. Portia's pretty much collecting minions. Now everybody a go naked model. So yeah, so basically Shamia and Angela end up getting into it because Shamia is telling Angela she's messy, keep her name out of her mouth. She blames Angela and Drew for the demise of her and Portia's friendship, even though it was on shaky grounds before they even came you know, before Angela even came on the show. But she blames them for this. Angela is saying, girl, I don't know what you talk about. I'm not the reason. Like, she's the reason. So basically, she lets Angela know she's messy and to keep her name out of her mouth. So before they can start getting into it too much, Cynthia is like, girls, at this point, let's just get ready for the gala. Y'all can fight all y'all want, but let's go. So yes, 50 Cent shut it down, all right? So now the ladies go to glam, and that's when the jeweler is there now, and they get their gowns, they're trying on the jewelry. Cynthia's business partner, he arrives with the gemologist. So they're trying on the gems. Yes, money, baby. Cha-ching! So yes, Cynthia goes to check on Drew. Drew is not even ready yet. She's still in glam. So Drew lets her know that she has a pounding headache. So she's just going to catch up with them and meet them there a little later. So they go and they get their stuff together and they all go to get into the Sprinter to go. They have police escorts and all that because they riding with all that jewelry. Think it was like, we got Go Naked models. We got the bankruptcy baddies. We got Shamia ass. Like, baby, we need protection, okay? So, yes, they got the police escorts going with them because, yeah, they wearing all that expensive jewelry, all right? So, mind you now, Cynthia gets a call from her business partner who is already at the venue. He went ahead to the venue and he's crying. She's on the phone with somebody else. He's in the background crying because it's a big storm. It's storming in the location where they at, and it's like, it seems like the event is ruined. So they're like, oh my gosh, no. And where they at, it's not storming, but if you look ahead up in the sky on the road, you can see the storm up ahead. So they like, oh no, what is going on? But fortunately, the storm ended up subsiding. And it's like they went to commercial break, came back, and the storm done subsided, honey, okay? So they get to the venue, and now it's time for Cynthia's Commissario Gala. Okay, so they get there. Mike, Portia's friend, is there. Dr. Caston is there. Derek is there. Pinky's happy to see him. Kay's happy to see Caston. Yes, give us some dick, please. Because, baby, fuck that new vagina, all right? So, yeah. So, now Cynthia wants to give out some awards. She want to announce the ladies. So, they're going to all come and model their outfits. And based on the applause, at the end, they're going to do applause to figure out who won the prize. So as she's announcing everybody, mind you, they all have on these gowns and these big Dallas-style wigs. I guess it was given Dynasty from the show. Because I was like, ugh, I ain't like none of these wigs. Everybody, even Portia's wig, I was like, Portia got on a busted wig? But then I realized it was supposed to be a big Dallas wig. So it was given like, that was the theme. So yeah, so they all are modeling and Cynthia's calling them out. So mind you, as they're modeling down on who should get the award, the tequila award, in her confessional, Angela hit us with another one of the funniest moments of this episode.
If Kay gets drunk, she cries. If Pinky gets drunk, she throws up. If Portia gets drunk, she her husband. I deserve to be crowned because I can handle my tequila better than any of the ladies here.
Congratulations, Angela, for giving us another one of this episode's funniest moments. So now, mind you, while all this is going on, Drew is still in glam. She's singing happy birthday to her mom on glam. So I think it's an hour and a half into the gala by now. So now we go back to the gala. Everybody's turning up. They partying. It's a party. So they going back and forth from the gala to Drew. Drew's leaving out. Everybody's turned up. This party was kind of, it looked like they was turned. I don't know what music they was listening to, but it was giving crunk music. I saw Deja was dropping it low. They was giving, it was giving very, like a hood party, like a hood ghetto party. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on. But yeah, everybody was turned. But mind you, as they was dancing, see, I noticed everything in the background. In the background, I saw this one dude, this guy in a white tee with his body busting out of the t-shirt. And I I was like, oh my God, who is that? Ladies, excuse me. Let me enjoy the view, baby. He was eye candy. I need to show y'all. Yes, who is that? I was like, what? All I saw was body. Like, ooh. I was like, this fine chocolate brother, who are you? Okay? And so I had to get a still shot for y'all. Now, just in case y'all didn't catch it the first time, the guy in the white tee behind Portia. Get in. Yes. Mind you, in the picture, when I froze the picture and I noticed, why was Portia tongue out like that? I'm not. I was like, Portia, what was you dancing to? Why was her tongue out like? A mess. So yeah, so they turn it up, they take pictures, they take a cute little group picture. Mind you, Drew comes walking in the door at 10:30 p.m. pretty much at the end of the gala when it was pretty much over. As the girls is walking out, she's walking in like, oh my gosh, it's over. She looked cute though. Her wig didn't even look that bad. I was like, girl, this ain't no Dallas wig, it's a regular wig. All right, this a go naked wig. But yeah. So they like, girl, you coming at the end, girl. Shamia is like, I'm glad as I'm walking out, she coming in, honey. Yes, okay, that's the best decision she did us all a favor. So yeah. But yeah, so now they get on the bus to go leave. It was a cute Cynthia. She's recapping the trip. They do this little Dallas Real Housewives of Atlanta theme song as Cynthia is saying, I've hosted girls trips before, but baby, this one was a doozy. And they show the highlights and the flashes from the trip, some of the drama. And this is the end of the Dallas trip, all right? The girls are getting on the plane to head back to Atlanta. But Kay in her confessional, she's basically saying like, because she said when they was at the event gala, she was going to let it slide because it's all about Cynthia. She wants Cynthia to enjoy her gala. She's not going to bring no drama. But when they get back to Atlanta, honey, we need to have a talk. So yeah, and Cynthia is basically, in her recap, she's like, we got a girl who, we got two girls who settled it, got into it, meaning Angela and Pinky. We got two girls who settled their differences and decided to just, coexist, Kelly and Portia. And then we got another girl who just collected enemies, Kay. So yeah, and she's like, and what is this whole thing about that she's talking about the scheme and the plot? Like, child, like, I want that tea, all right? So yeah, the episode ends where you see their plane flying off and they're headed back to the A. I did enjoy this episode, but I was kind of confused. Like, what is going on, Kay? Like, this is too much for me. But I can see how she could have thought that. But I'm wondering, was it Shamia who told her? Who y'all think told her this? Who y'all think telling her this? I think it was Shamia. It could have been Kelly, too. Another thing I meant to say, too, is when Kay and Drew was going at it, Kelly in the confessional was like, I'm glad Kay finally calling Drew out because Drew mad fake. I was like, Kelly, shut up. Like, shut up, Kelly, for real. Not for nothing. I'm going to keep it real. We on episode 7, all right? We almost halfway through the season. I would say episode 8 or 9 is like the halfway mark for the season. But before we even got to the season, I can officially say, I don't like Kelly. I don't like Shamia. Kay is starting to rub me the wrong way. Pinky, not so much yet. Let's see. Like, bitch, you fuck with them bitches, so I don't fuck with you either. Nah, let me stop. I'm not that type. Like, unless you did, in real life, if I don't fuck with a bitch and you fuck with her, then bitch, I don't fuck with you. But because I don't know these bitches, I don't have to hold that against Pinky because she hanging out with bitches I don't like. I just don't. Kelly, to me, like, I'm sorry, Kelly. Like, you had 2 seasons to bring something. I just feel like what you're bringing is not it. Like, it's just not landing for me. Shamia is cringe, and I'm just over Shamia. I don't like Shamia. Kay, you're reminding me of why I didn't like you in the first place. So, yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and say, like, Portia and Phaedra are, like, your true beacons of decency. But I'm on their side in this matter. Like, yeah, maybe they did come up with this scheme and the plot, but hey, why not? Like, now we stop. If you can't take the heat, girl, stay out the kitchen. You from Love and Hip Hop, girl. You should know how to take this. If you can't handle this, then you don't need to be on Housewives, Kay, because it seems like you're cracking under the pressure, and it seems like this is getting to you. All right? But yeah, she did an interview. She went on Club Station, and she was talking her talk. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I grade this episode. I'm going to give it a B+. I would have gave it an A, but it just seemed like it was a little confusing to me. So B+. You know, it was a good episode, though. I want to give it an A-, but I feel like Kay is throwing me off with this. She's throwing me off, and I hate when I'm confused. I hate when it just... All right, I'm going to give it an A-. All right, guys? Let me know if you agree. The MVP of the episode, I guess, would have to be Kay, because she made it all about her, although Shamia was trying to make it about her. All right? Guys, if you haven't already checked out my recap for Real Housewives of Rhode Island, there's a double recap I did yesterday. It's up there. Go check that out. Like that video. Leave a comment if you want. All right, I did get to see Watch What Happens Live. Shamia was on there with Rosie from Rhode Island. And we found out that Shamia's husband, Gerald, has the largest HVAC company in Rhode Island. Yes, so that's something new. All right, go ahead, Gerald. So, yeah, look forward to my recaps next week. Make sure if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells, so that you can get updated whenever I do drop my videos. All right, guys? Today is Friday, May 21st. Is it? Yeah.